Okay, so today we're gonna make some progress on getting things back assembled. So I have the head here, I have all the valves and stuff. Then I picked up one of these stupid ass tools so I can hate my life. And then I got some valve lapping compound too, wherever that is. Some valve lapping compound. And I've never actually lapped valves back in, but like my seats don't look too bad and the valves don't look too bad. So there's a couple good tutorials on YouTube on how to lap valves back in, and I spent some time watching them. And that's my plan today. I'm gonna start putting the valves back in. Then I can put the valve seals back in, the new springs and retainers I have, the buckets and shims, and then we can get the cams in so we can measure them and figure out which shims we'll need for the cams to work. Head things, we're doing head, just like that. From what I've learned is that don't be worried about cleaning out all the carbon and stuff because that's all gonna come back anyways. But I do have my valves and I'm gonna clean them off, and I'm gonna clean off the seat faces and just using some like brake clean and carb clean. You have to have fresh oil for on the valve stem, so when you put it in the guide it doesn't like chew up your guides. Once it's in there, you're gonna use this doohickey and like push it on the valve, and then there's lots of good guides. I'm probably not the best one to teach you how to do this. I'm just recording it because you guys like to see what I do. But I think Jaffro Mobile, he has a good how-to on it. It's like valve lapping 105, something like that. And it's a really good tutorial. So I'm gonna do what I can with this. And if I screw it up, then I guess I screw it up. But it's gonna be a good learning experience. This chair is way too small for this desk. I've also seen the tutorial where they clean these up with like a brass wire wheel and a drill to clean them right up. And they clean everything in the faces. But everything was like lapped pretty good when I took it apart. Everything like looked awesome. And nothing is really pitted or anything, so I just kind of want to clean it up. I don't really want to start fresh, if that makes any sense to anybody. If not, let me know, because I've never done this before. Head is too loosey-goosey. Shiny, smooth, all the way around. It's nice and smooth all the way around. It's seated pretty good. So there's lots of like cleaning this rubber tool and the face of the valve, because if you get any compound on this tool, it doesn't like to stick and spin. But I don't have the best setup because the head likes to rock on me, so I can't put too much pressure, so it's taking me forever. But I'm still making my way through it. Let's keep going. All right, this is my last intake valve here. I've done all these. This one still has valve grind compound in it. Everything's gonna get a good cleaning after. I'm just seating all the valves. So like I said, this is my first time doing it. I have watched a bunch of tutorials, and then once you start getting the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward. So you have your valve. That's my cat. She found her way into the garage. You have your valve, and then you take a bit of your valve grind compound and you put it on the valve where it seats. Then you're gonna wanna oil the valve stem so it lubricates the guide so you don't fuck up your guides. Also, you don't wanna put too much valve guide compound on, because if any falls in that guide, then you're gonna ruin the guide. So you just drop it in place. Then you get your little suction cup doohickey, which costs you about $5 and is like super high performance, technical, advanced, Mobile One NASCAR sponsored. And then make sure the surface of your valve is clean and the surface of this thing, because if it's not, then it's not gonna stick and it's really a pain in the ass. And then you more or less just you can pretty much hear it changing pitches when the compound is not so gritty on the two surfaces. See how it sounds like it's in there smoother? if you were seating valves that were not previously like in the spots, mine, I could have dropped mine in and they would have been okay, but I'm cleaning them up anyways. So it's not gonna take much to get them to seat where they need to be. So this might be a longer process if you're trying to seat like new valves or something. Oh my God, the camera's never gonna wanna focus on that. There's like a shiny ridge the whole way around the valve anyways. All right, you can see that there's like a shiny ridge the whole way around and it's like super even and clean. That's kind of what you're looking for. Hey, it's me again. I did go buy the smaller stick because my stick was too big.
Yeah, cock's too big.
But now it should fit our exhaust valves. It fits. Sorry, the light's a bit dopey in here right now because I just turned the light on. Whoa, yep, you're falling. Okay, we gotta go backwards this time because this is the front and I want to start up here. Get some new paper towels on the go. These exhaust ones seem to be a bit more corroded than the intake ones, so they might take a little bit more to get them to sit good. This is so painstakingly pain in my elbow. Last one. These exhaust valves have been tedious and difficult because they're a lot more pitted than the intake ones. Okay, so with all of our valves done now, I'm just gonna clean them up. I'm actually gonna take some time and I'm gonna clean the head out a bit. I'm gonna pull the valve seals and I'm gonna wait for the UPS guy to bring my new valve seals and then we can start assembling the head. I don't like how I can't listen to music because YouTube will like flag me and then that's not cool because I want to listen to some Biebers and some Selena Gomez's. I actually hate doing this tedious stuff, like pisses my ass. Cleaning stuff is not my specialty. Here's what the mini valve seal looks like. And I'll pull all those out real fast. I gotta vanish because I sprayed so much carb cleaner in here and I feel like I'm getting high. Yep, loony bin. Okay, finally the UPS man came. I have my intake and exhaust valve seals. I'm gonna find a socket that fits like perfectly over them and just tap them in lightly. That's my plan. And we'll get them in and then we can get my Brian Crower single springs and titanium retainers, and we'll put those in too. So of course it is a 10mm socket that fits in it, and it just like snugly fits over so that you can get it on there and just like put it on and tap it on. Now it's gonna be the same deal for the exhaust ones. I'm not gonna show you that because I just showed you all those ones. Now a lot of this stuff I don't actually know how to do. I've learned how to do it online and asked friends and stuff. So my knowledge is just as much as your knowledge. So just get out there and do it. I guess we're ready to put our valves back in. So we'll start with the intake side since the intake side is up right now. We got our fancy new springs and retainers to go in. It's just a single spring with a titanium retainer. All right, so we just have our same old cheapo C-clamp style one. We'll just pop that in there. New spring. Huh, I guess that's where those baggies come from. And then our little retainer clips. The easiest way to get these to fit is if you have grease and you just dab a little bit of grease on them. One down, 11 more intake ones to go. So that was a big pain in my ass. Now I have to do the exhaust side. Yay, yay. Exhaust side. Okay, so the next step, I'm gonna flip it back over. Because there's new cams going in here, what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to measure my shims before I put them in. So the shim is this disc that's on top of the bucket, and that gives you your clearance between your cams and your valves. So these actually fit in here, and then the shim is the thickness. So I have to measure the shims. I have to install all the buckets, install the cams, measure the clearances, and then figure out which shims need to go where and if I have to order more shims. All right, first things first, we have the back of the engine, so front, back. This is a pizza box, Panago, not sponsored. So I did buy myself a micrometer. I'm gonna have to refresh myself on how to use it because it's been a while. I haven't used it since college. And I'm gonna measure all the shims, write them down. Then I'm gonna put them in, and I'm gonna check the clearance and write that down, and then I can compare it to what BC recommends that their clearances need to be, and then I can decide which size shim I need. And if I have to order more shims, then I have to order more shims. Why do they always make this thing so difficult to open? Okie dokie, this is our bucket, and this is our shim. Actually, I probably don't wanna do this on what I'm gonna be writing on, because then I'll get all the. So this is my reading, and now I just have to decipher it, and then I'll let you know. Actually, I have this, which is probably not as accurate, but it'll give me a good idea where I'm supposed to be with the micrometer. 113, and I have 1, 10, 11 here. Okay, so I've got it figured out now. This is reading 0.1114. This is reading 0.1113. So I'm thinking we should be okay. Okay, I'm gonna go with 0.1114. I'll use the micrometer, I figured it out. This whole head thing has been really tedious, and I can show you like one thing and it's interesting, but I'm not gonna show you all 12 of them. The same thing with the valves. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll write my numbers down, and I'll show you what I have, and then we'll show you the next step. So I got all the intake shims in. There's all the measurements. Time to put the exhaust ones in. All right, they're all in, as you can see. We have an assortment of a lot of different numbers, so we have a lot of shims to work with. So next up we have these BC 276 cams. They are their stage 3 plus cam, not quite a stage 4 race cam. So it does have like 10.2 mil lift. This would be the exhaust cam because there's no big lobes on it. I'm using oil for now because I'm not actually assembling the whole motor, just trying to get clearances. I do have assembly lube here too, just not using it. Dang, big cams. The reason I could tell the difference between the cams is because the intake cam has this extra big lobe thing, and it's for your cam sensor. It has this big lobe thingy. So in this bin, I also have my cam caps. So those are the next things that go on. These are gonna have to come off again anyways, that's why I'm not putting silicone on them where they need to be. All these cam caps are actually marked, intake 2, intake 3, and then with an arrow. And then we start tightening that down. All right, with these cams, you wanna just make sure that you tighten them down evenly. They don't have to be quarter turn here, quarter turn there. Just make sure they go down flat and even, and yeah, just don't break them because they can break. Now I bought these Nito feeler gauges that hopefully will help me do this a lot easier because they're like bent like a shoe to get in there. But I have to find something to turn the cams because this passage is like smaller than the cock. I guess I can do this right here because these eggs are pointing like straight up from where the bottom is. If I can get something in there, we're gonna start shoving shims in until we can't shove any more shims in. Since this is the intake side, I have the spec sheet here. BC actually recommends their clearances for the cams. So BC's valve clearance is 8 thousandths on the intake and 10 thousandths on the exhaust. So I'm hoping that they're all good because that would be super special to me. 7. Nope, too tight. Still too tight. 5 fits in there. 6 fits in there on that one. 6 doesn't fit there, but it fits here. So this one's 6. 6 doesn't fit there, but 5 does. So it's 5. Now I have to be able to turn this. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to put the cam gears back on, and so essentially that's what I have to do for all of them. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna not film it because this is really repetitive stuff. And then I'll let you guys know when I come with the numbers, and then I'll show you what we have to do after that. All right, to conclude my findings, I'm gonna show you that mostly all my intake side is too tight. It's supposed to be 0.008, and I only have one, I think. Yep, that's 0.008. The rest are too tight. And then on the exhaust side, I have almost all of them are in spec except for 2 of them. And now what I can do is I can start shim swapping. So for example, here I need a 0.12. So if I have a 0.12 over here that I can steal and put over here. So that's what I have to do. I have to start shim swapping, and then I have to order the rest of the shims that I don't have that I need. But now I know all the sizes of the shims that I need, and I can order them, and then I can have my head assembled. So that's gonna be it for this one because I definitely don't have all the shims that I need, and I'm gonna have to order some. So the head, it kind of looks like a head again. And I'm actually glad that I did it, and I kind of actually learned some things because I had to do my own research on all of this because I've never done it before. And it should work out just fine for me. So peace easy guys, and I'll see you guys next time. And I know I've been gone for a while, and I'm sorry about that.